Hey guys, welcome to this next video. Today's episode is about music. That was a very clean intro. Jesus, I
just let it.
I don't have any anxiety.
Well,
yeah.
Let me ask you.
For sure.
When was the first time? I feel like I'm doing an interview like with Howard Stern and stuff. When was the first time you fell in love with music?
The first time I actually became aware of like a band, like music, was actually when I was in 3rd grade and Linkin Park had just come out with their first album. And
what was the name of it?
Hybrid Theory.
Okay.
It's like a huge.
What was their like hit song?
In the end, remember?
Sing it.
End, it doesn't even matter. Remember?
No.
I don't know where you were, but it was huge. Like in the year 2000, it was huge. And I remember like being in 3rd grade, kids were talking about it, and they were like, "Oh, have you heard like Linkin Park? Like this band Linkin Park?" And like when I was a kid, I was like, "I don't know anything. Like bands, like whatever."
So that's
I just heard what was on the radio. Like,
let me cut you and let me ask you: is that the earliest recollection of you listening to music?
No, that's the earliest recollection of me. Like, that's the earliest memory of it. That's the earliest memory of me being aware and conscious of like bands.
Okay.
Before that, it was like a lot of 90s rock that was on the radio and a lot of 90s hip hop.
Like, I still remember when like B96 had Eddie and Joel.
Yeah,
like, I used to listen to my sister used to literally have that every single day.
Eddie and Joel.
Yeah, what's going on?
Do you remember when they used to do the thing in the morning and they were like the birthday bash or whatever? It was like they'd be like they'd sing this like birthday song. Like somebody would call in. They were like. Yeah, I don't want to sing it. But I like set myself up to sing.
No, but my thing is like, dude, I remember like having to listen to like the radio. Like you would have to sit next to the radio, and if you want to hear it, like the song again. Like I remember, and this might sound crazy to like the youth or whoever is. If you're born after 2000, this might sound like an ancient thing, and even to me when I say it now, it sounds kind of crazy. But when it was like 2003, 2004. I remember I used to do this, and I used to do it as like, that was like my first hustle ever, and I used to burn CDs, and in 2003, I remember I became a fan of rap music via, I think it was like Ludacris and 50 Cent.
Ah, the good stuff.
Yeah.
See, that when I listen to like rap, that's what I like. I like that rap.
Because before that, dude, I can't remember. I mean, I remember my computer used to be too slow to get. What was the big one? Was it FrostWire or LimeWire?
LimeWire.
Was the big one?
Yeah, that was the big one.
So I had FrostWire.
Yeah. And
FrostWire was like, I had some Dell, and it was a slow and I remember I had it, dude, and I think that, downloading that and using that, like, shut down my computer.
Oh, really?
That computer got a blue screen.
Well, I didn't have internet until 16, so...
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have internet, so, like, literally listening to music was radio only. I remember getting a
Zune?
No, a Zoom. No. You really?
Yeah,
Those were kind of cool, though. Those were kind of cool, but they were unpopular. But I liked them. They were cool. But, like, my first music gift was a cassette player. It was like a portable one, like a Walkman or whatever.
I had a CD
player.
Not
an actual Walkman.
I had a CD player.
I had a cassette player, and
really?
I didn't have any cassettes, but I just, like, listened to the radio on it or whatever. And then...
so it was like FM, AM...
Yeah. And then the next thing I got was a CD player. It was red. It was an RCA. Man, I could probably still find that on eBay and like buy it. I wonder if somebody's selling it.
Dude, eBay's selling everything.
I know, yeah. $400 for a CD player.
That would be crazy.
Nostalgia. But yeah, it was a CD player. It was red, and that's when I first started like listening to CDs. Mm-hmm. My first CD ever was
that you bought?
I actually never ever bought CDs when I was younger. Like,
dude,
at all.
I had an addiction. Once I started making money, like, I had an addiction. I don't know what it was. I was just like, I don't know. I thought, like, going into the store and that experience, like, dude, like, there's no moment in the day that I can't go without listening to music. Like, even to now, like, me, present day me, at work, in the car.
You're always listening.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I'm at the point where listening to music is cool, but my ears like listening to podcasts a lot more now, especially at work and especially driving to work.
It's mentally stimulating, you know? Like you're learning, you're in a conversation. You're not in the conversation, but you feel like you're in the conversation.
Exactly. I think that's what it is.
Time goes by faster, too, when you're just listening to people talk.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even though
because music, it's like...
you know what's coming.
You know the songs. Oh, it's been like 6 minutes or 3 minutes. You're like, you know the length of the songs.
Yeah, I only like listening to albums when they're new, and now it sucks because it's like everything is streaming. So like, for example, like last 3 Drake projects, I can't go out to the store and buy them. They're just streaming. Yeah, and they're owned by Apple, so I can't go.
Oh, you're right.
So I can't go to.
He never released a CD.
No, I think the last CD I could be mistaken, but I feel like the last CD he came out with might have been either If You're Reading This It's Too Late or Nothing Was the Same. Because I know I have Nothing Was the Same. I have that album, that CD, but I don't think after that it was just all streaming. That's like when he signed the deal with Apple and everything.
They still make CDs like of the newest albums. You just have to buy them. Yeah, you just have to buy them on Amazon.
But I know there was a store like where I used Amazon.
Yeah, they're the only people like selling.
I used to go to Best Buy and I used to get a lot from Best Buy.
Yeah,
I used to save my money. I used to get a lot of rewards from them, and I don't know. I think last year it was the last year they were selling.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's crazy. Like you can't really. You can buy the music, but like, okay, let me give you an example, right? I didn't grow up like buying CDs, but I'm buying CDs now. I know it's weird, but like,
you're like 20 years.
No, dude, I'm going to like the thrift store and they're so cheap. Really? Because people don't want them. They're like coasters. Like people just don't want CDs anymore. So you could buy CDs.
But like brand new or
used, of course. Like older albums.
I used to like opening up the pack and being like.
You can still buy new CDs too for like $5-6, and
tell me where
the newest ones are like $10 only, all on Amazon. You just go on Amazon. They ship it to you, and
either that or they drone it to you.
Yeah, your CD's broken. The case is all cracked. That's the only thing I hate about CDs. The cases get all cracked.
I have 2 albums that things are cracked. I'm just
what I did? I bought from Micro Center they're like CD jewel cases, and I like recased all of them.
Really?
Yeah, so they're like brand new now.
I didn't know they had that.
Yeah, it's like $6 for a pack of 25.
So it's like the empty one. All you gotta do is just transfer over.
Transfer the CD. Yeah, and it looks like a brand.
And what
new
about
CD.
the booklet?
The booklet, just make sure when you buy it, if you buy it used, just make sure that's all good. Okay. And that's what I do. I buy my CDs.
So what's the last album you just bought?
Stained. I forgot what the album's called, but it has like 4 of my favorite songs. It was like from 2001. Okay. It was like rock music from that time.
And this wasn't even planned. The last album I remember I went to Best Buy to get, and I remember it was on sale for like $6.99. Was this album, Thriller? Because I was like, I need this. Reason why I went to go buy this shirt was like I was at a store, and I just seen it. I was like, why not? Like it's kind of cool, like a graphic. Yeah, like it looks like he's just here, with us.
The last new album I bought was actually Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, because I found it for like $5, and brand new.
The thing is,
I was like,
it
wow,
takes space, dude.
It does take space, but it doesn't take like too much space. What I like about CDs is that you're able to. Okay, we're getting to like physical media versus like Spotify and Apple Music. Like what I like about it is that you have a hard copy of like your favorite stuff.
Yeah. And
you can rip. CDs are cool because you can still rip it in your computer and then just have the highest quality possible. Like. You can even download the FLAC version, which I don't know if you know what FLAC is, but FLAC is like the highest quality audio that you can get.
FLAC?
Yeah. So you can only get that from a CD. Oh. So when you listen to it on Apple Music or Spotify, you're not getting the highest quality.
Of course,
it's like it's like downgraded.
Straight down, yeah.
No, the only company that doesn't do that is Jay-Z's company, Tidal.
Tidal,
yeah, that one's like full FLACs that you can stream. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, the cool thing,
but it's like $20 a month.
Well, I remember how much?
$20, yeah. For music.
But here's the thing, though. Like for me, I remember when cars started having Bluetooth. Damn, it sounds like we're all so super old. No, but when cars started getting like Bluetooth, and that was just like a standard in cars. I remember I used to have an older car, and I turned it to have Bluetooth, and you can just hear it, like, from connecting your phone.
Oh, the quality
from aux cord.
Yeah.
To Bluetooth is 2 different.
Yeah, because the aux is a better quality.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now imagine doing that with streaming. That's basically what you're doing. Yep. You're recording the main one, then you're sending that file to like an email
So by the time, the problem is that by the time
it gets to our ears, it's like 4 or 5
it still sounds good, but it's not.
But it sounds good for streaming.
It sounds good for what it is.
Now, if you were to like put it at a party or something like that, you gotta. It's not gonna be the same. You know, like And that's what I think about.
Because you're streaming the music to your
Yeah.
phone, and then from streaming, it's going to your Bluetooth headphones. It's like all wireless.
Yeah.
It's like a...
I have 75. I ended my collection at 75 CDs.
Wow.
That's a lot.
You don't have them anymore, right?
Yeah, I have
Oh, you still do?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Should I outro it with that?
Huh?
Should I outro it? Nah.
Too much work.
Too lazy. It's been a lazy day.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
have you ever tried to get into like vinyl?
Nah.
Let me tell you, man. Vinyl is like really hard. Like I know, like older
I thought
people.
it was expensive.
It's expensive,
Oh.
yeah. It's like for a new album, it's like $35 or something. Like new album CD is like 10. I can make a digital copy of it. Vinyl 35, and I can't do anything with it. You know, it's like, and vinyl's cool and all, but I think vinyl's cool for, like, when you think about the technology of vinyl. Like, I don't know if you know how vinyl works, but
Isn't it like you put it on the logo?
well, yeah, like the music's like etched
like a turntable,
into the
right?
plastic.
Yeah.
So it's like you have actual audio waves like in the plastic. It's like that's as close as you can get to like physical analog music, because it's literally the music's etched onto the vinyl. Like it's amazing, like the technology. But practicality wise, I wouldn't listen to my music that way. Why?
I feel like if I had money, like if I just had spare money and I wanted to buy something nice to have at the house, like a prized possession, I think I would buy a vinyl machine.
Well, vinyls are cool, like you said. If you have the extra money,
Yeah,
to spend,
if you
it's a
wanna-
hobby. And
There you go. That's
what's
the perfect
cool about
word.
vinyl is that when you open it, like the album art's really big. It comes with like posters. You can
Yeah.
read the lyrics. It's like a big experience, and that's what I do like about.
Like
vinyl.
if you're a big fan of music,
but
you would do that.
But I would never like grab my vinyl. I do it occasionally, like very rarely. When I'm bored and I have nothing to do, I'm like, let's just have some fun, you know, put the vinyl on. But like, it's so much work. It doesn't make any sense. Like
are there marks
doesn't.
on the vinyl that says "Start Here"?
no, like well, you can
So how do
you
you
can
know where to
assume
start?
that like the mark at the very edge is like the first track, but you don't really know what track. Like if you want to listen to a specific song, that's why back when vinyls were prevalent,
Yeah.
it was really important to make an album that like told a story. That way you can listen to the album all the way through. So
consecutive. Oh.
yeah, so vinyls are cool if it's like
I think you're getting something.
my rule for vinyl is only get my most favorite albums.
Like
albums that I
the
can
most
listen all the
replay
way
value.
through. Yeah, that I can just leave and listen all the way through. But
You
you're not
won't be
gonna
disappointed.
you're not gonna get an album that you only like one or two songs on, you know, and then you're
But
just
that's
listening to the whole
that's today's music.
Yeah.
We live in a world.
Yeah.
One-hit
We live in a
wonders. One hit
Exactly.
wonders, or we live in a two good songs. It makes an album alright.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because
Sorry.
I feel like there's no substance to the music of today. Don't get me wrong. When I'm out and about and the music comes out and the speakers are loud, it sounds great.
There's some stuff that comes out that's really, really good.
Some.
Yeah.
But I feel like before it was like.
But we also have
everything.
more music now. I mean, it depends on what you're listening to
True.
be honest. Because there's some good stuff coming out still. But it really depends.
Do you remember the first time of listening to any of your, like going back to like the first question, like do you remember the first song that you ever listened to?
Man, the first song. I would think actually the furthest back, like my furthest memory of a song and
I'm gonna
being
take a
conscious
guess.
of it. Go ahead, you're gonna be wrong.
Mark Anthony.
No.
Oh.
What is that? No.
I don't know. You Puerto Rican?
Frankie Ruiz would have been more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually. Maybe. No.
No, because that's what I'm thinking.
But
I'm
the
thinking,
first song I was like conscious of was I don't know if you know who Seal is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Kiss by the Rose or whatever that song called.
His famous like.
Yeah. That song, I remember when that was like new on the radio. It was like 1995. I remember. Like I was in the back seat of my parents' car and they used to give it all the time. I remember we were driving like
What used to give it
downtown.
all the time.
It was like some station. I don't remember what station.
Oh, you
it was.
know, they
It
used
was
to
on the
play
radio.
it all the
Yeah,
time.
they used to play it all
You
the
said
time.
they used to give it all the time.
And it was
I was like,
thing,
what?
dude, same thing. And they used to play it all the time. And I remember being in the backseat of my parents' car and just hearing it all the time. And that's when the movie Batman Forever came out. And that song is actually the soundtrack of Batman Forever.
Oh, so it linked. That's
So
what
it linked. So I was watching the Batman Forever movie and listening to that song at the
How
same
old were
time.
you in '95?
Like 3.
And you remember that?
I do remember. It's crazy.
I was
right?
1.
Wow.
And I don't remember nothing.
Well, yeah, because you were 1, right? But I also, you know what freaks me out, though?
The first memory at 3? That's crazy.
You know what freaks me out, though? Oh, I have, like, memories that are, like, when I was really little, dude.
Like when you came out the womb?
Yeah. No.
You remember his name was Nicholas.
No, you want... Okay, side note. You want to know my furthest memory?
Yeah, this is a question I ask people all the time. My
furthest memory was, like, I literally remember being in my walker, walking around, and there was a family get-together at my grandmother's and grandfather's, and I remember looking at my uncle, and he was huge. I remember, dude, I was in my walker.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was barely 1. I was barely 1. I mean, when you think about it.
Damn. Do you remember the time your parents dropped you?
I do.
Yeah, I feel like every parent's dropped their kid, you know?
Yeah. No, it was more like I dropped myself several times.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but that's great. 3? I don't... 3. Dude, I think the earliest music recollection that I can remember is probably my parents listening to their music, and all their stuff was like salsa and like, all Spanish music. Right, so I grew up... Like, I remember my dad used to have like 5 CDs in the car. And he would always play the same music, and I'd be so annoyed. I'm like, oh, dude, we've heard these 20 songs.
Well, 100 with my mom, it was Frankie Ruiz, and she would play that CD all the time. And I remember, like, I know every song. Like, I remember. Yeah. I can't speak Spanish, but like you know I know the songs. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's jinx. Yeah.
Let me get a coke now.
What? Yeah, but that was my earliest. Probably. You know what freaks me out though?
Go ahead.
I remember in '95 hearing music on the radio that was like from the late '80s.
Okay.
But they would play it all the time.
Because that's probably all they had, no?
No, when you think about it, dude. Like, when you listen to the radio now, they're playing hits from, like, 2013, 2014. In '95, you know, like, stuff that was 5 years ago.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Dude, in '95, the '80s music still wasn't old. Isn't that crazy?
That is.
That's nuts, right?
I never thought about it.
Yeah, I remember the tail end of the '80s. Like, it's crazy. I was in different worlds.
Yeah. You're from born and raised in Chicago. I'm born and raised in somewhere else in the world. No, but that's, dude, I think the earliest recollection that I remember, I should stop saying that. The earliest memory that I know, what am I doing? I'm trying to be vocabulary.
Yeah. It doesn't
started reading a dictionary, guys. Now I'm over here trying to throw different words at you. No, but I remember MTV was big, and I remember I used to love watching their sucker-free countdowns on Sundays or whatever. And I remember the first time we had cable, I was probably 2nd, 3rd grade, and they would have these countdowns, and I used to wake up Sundays just to watch these, because they would have like the top 10, you know, I think it was top 10 music, you know, and this was when like MTV would play. You know, like, I remember, like, my nephew, Brian, you know Brian? Yeah,
Brian. The Brian that's not me.
Yeah. He when he was a kid, I was, like, maybe 9 or 10, and I remember he was, like, 5 or 4 or whatever, and he used to love Maroon 5, and I hope he doesn't kill me for killing this. Yeah. And that song, What Is Love or something like that?
Well, because when he was little, it was, like, 2005 or something.
Yeah, because he was born in, 2003, probably.
He was, like, super little.
Yeah, so he were, like, I remember that there used to be a song, they're, like, their first hit.
Can't stand Maroon 5. I always hated Maroon 5 music, especially their old stuff, like their first stuff that Brian liked.
Yeah. Well, he liked this one song. It was like the Love or something.
I know This Love.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that song, dude. I hated that song when it was new. I still hate that song.
Well, that was like the first early. Like if I'm me thinking right now, that's probably like the earliest. Besides like the Colombian music that my parents played and all that Spanish music. Besides that, I remember that, and then I would listen, and I was like, okay, whatever. I still wasn't a fan of any genre. I was just a kid.
Yeah, you know, for sure. Like, well, when you're a kid, you like what you like.
It's whatever, you know. It was just like
that's whatever. The way. Honestly, that's the way it should be anyway. Like,
well, now I feel like kids have so much access to like.
Yeah, I don't know what they listen to. It's crazy.
This is crazy to me. Parents out, right? And, like, I'm talking about, like, the ghetto parents. Like, these people are listening to, like, 21 Savage. And dude, I see these videos, or I used to see these videos. Yeah, and you see these little
kids, they're going to be like 21.
Dude, it's exactly what I'm saying. 3, 4, 5-year-olds who are in the backseat of the car, and the parent,
that's crazy.
Is it funny? Yeah, but it's like, yo, your kid is singing like.
But you know what, dude? Bro, you know what I was singing when I was little?
What?
The thong song. Bro, I was like,
Exit frame.
it was like, I was like 8 years old. I was like, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, like the way your booty goes. My mom was like, do you even know what this song is about?
Oh,
and I was like, no.
That's classic, dude.
Yeah, I loved that song, dude. I loved that song.
What about MC Hammer? Did you ever get into like that or Ice Ice Baby?
No, I was never into that, no.
He said that thong song.
The Thong Song, dude, was a hit. It was a big hit, dude. I remember in 2001 that we can move forward now to music. Like 2001, oh man, dude. I feel like 2001 when I was in 4th grade was like, that's when my music taste like it just kind of exploded.
Before or after 9/11?
I don't think it really matters, but probably like after. He thinks it's gonna trigger me or something. It's hello darkness, my old.
Yeah, exactly. But that whole year?
Yeah, 2001 and 2002 was like huge for music with me, and
was that when like the love started growing for you?
Yeah,
because for me it was literally 2 years after that.
Okay.
2003.
Yeah, we were like the same age.
Yeah.
Like I think when you're like
for me it was 3rd grade.
Okay, yeah, we're around the same age.
Grade,
yeah, so like. For something about that age is when like the music sticks to you. Outkast, Sorry Miss Jackson.
Yeah,
like,
that song.
Dude,
I remember when Hey Ma was.
Hey Ya.
Oh hey.
Yeah. Hey Ma. Hey Ma.
No, I love this.
Hey Ya.
I like this.
I loved Hey Ya, man. Like Outkast was huge. I loved Outkast so much. But The Rock started setting in. That's when I was introduced to not The Rock. I mean the music, The Rock, not
Rock
Dwayne
music?
Johnson, The Rock. Even though that's when he started being prevalent too.
walking tall, walking the line.
Yeah, but rock music. That's when it hit me. When the Spider-Man 1 movie came out with Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's when The Rock was like really good, man. It was called post-grunge.
Is that what the artist is called, The Rock?
What? No, I'm talking about rock.
Oh, the genre.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was confused. I'm like,
yeah, so rock music was really good in like 2001, 2002. It was the post-grunge era.
And you're like that kind of like that.
I love
out of all the music
because
you felt in pocket. Why?
Yes and no. I was actually listening to hip hop and that. But why, when it comes to rock, Spider-Man came out, so The Rock was big in like that superhero movie or whatever. And a lot of movies back then, like the one with Jet Li, they were using rock music. They were using Disturbed, Down with the Sickness and stuff. The Rock was really cool, but I listened also to hip hop. Like I said, the Thong Song was huge. Nelly, Hot in Here. I loved that song, dude. I loved it. Country Grammar.
So does every...
Great. It was great.
I feel like every...
Ludacris. Fantastic.
That's when I became...
Well, that was like 2003 or so when Fast and Furious came out.
Yeah.
That music, that culture, at that point in time was... Oh, it was awesome. Man.
For us, though.
For us. Yeah. But it was just unbelievable.
What you people like to call the millennials.
Yeah. Well, that's the millennials time.
What's the era after us? The Generation Y or something?
Z, I think.
God, they're so lazy.
Gen
they couldn't even make a name. The Z. What era are you from? Z? What? Shut up.
Shut up.
Where are you, millennials?
I love being a millennial. I love it. Like, I think we grew up in the right time.
I think
every generation feels that way, to be honest. But
nah, dude, trust me. My parents wish they could have the internet at the age that we did.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, dude.
Yeah, but anyway.
But then again, I wonder, I'm like, what if we didn't have the internet? Like, imagine us growing up, like, until 35, and then it's like, we know, like, we look on NBC or we look at a news channel and they're like, there's a new thing coming up, this man Steve Jobs is selling...
It's called email.
Yeah.
They're saying it's going to revolutionize the way we talk.
Dude, imagine that.
Yeah, like Yahoo, oh my god, I would have invested in so many stocks back then.
You say that now.
Yeah, but back then you didn't know. Like, there was no way of knowing. Kind of like now.
You're gonna
kind of like now with Snapchat and Instagram. We don't know it's gonna be a big thing.
You're gonna replace me picking up the phone and having to
okay. Well, dude, how far back are you going?
My grandma.
This guy went back to 1928. Like
my grandma,
the rotary.
God bless her soul. Like, she's still alive and she's in Colombia in her house that she's been there, like, raised all her 4 kids. to this date, you can find that phone.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my god! And
this is
but you know, they used to make things really good because it lasted, dude.
Dude,
you get a new phone like this, and it's dead in like 3 years. This is what
pisses me off. You misdialed the last number on that 7. You're like, fuck. You gotta go. You gotta hang it up and pick it. And it's so funny, dude. But no, I mean, dude.
That actually, that brings me into the iPod.
Okay.
When the iPod was released, because we grew up in a time where it wasn't.
We stole all our music.
Yeah. It wasn't
I can
really.
Say it now.
Well, it wasn't really CDs. I mean, yeah, CDs were big.
Well, no, CDs were. I think CDs stopped at maybe, I want to say 2005. Because I remember by the second time that 50 Cent came out with that second album, like Massacre or whatever, I was trying to do the same thing. I was trying to do hustling, like
yeah, and people were like,
CDs. They're like,
I get it for free.
Yeah. And then they would show me like their iPods and their like Sony AMs and all this.
The first time I was ever made aware of like an MP3 player was like 2005. Interesting. Yeah.
There you go.
Because I graduated grammar school in 2006, so 2005 I was in 7th grade, and there was this girl that had an MP3 player, those ones that look like flash drives.
Oh yeah,
dude,
it was like the shuffle ones only.
She had Evanescence "Bring Me to Life" on there, which was a huge song in like 2003.
It only held that song.
It only held like 10 songs. Yeah. But dude, so she let me listen to it. Because before that, you couldn't listen to music like on demand unless you had like the CD or something. But she had just that song, and I was like, "Can I listen to it, please?" And she like let me listen to it. She's like, and I was like, "This is so cool." And honestly, I didn't know about iPods until I got one for Christmas, which was like 3 years later, maybe. I got an iPod Nano for Christmas.
Oh, the Nano.
Yeah, it was like in 2008.
Dude, I remember when that trend hit.
Yeah.
And it was like if you're
everybody had the white headphones. Yeah,
it was bad for my parents because I like begged them, and I ended up getting one, but man,
I didn't even I didn't ask my parents for it. I didn't know it was even a thing, really. Wow. Because I remember being in my freshman year of high school.
$300 back then.
Well, my freshman year of high school, this girl had they were giving a bootleg copy of Spider-Man 3. It was like the end of the school year.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it yet. I wanted to see it in theater because I was really hyped about it. I wanted to ignore what was on the TV, so she gave me her iPod to like listen to all her music. And she had the iPod Classic that held like 1 billion songs in there or whatever. So I was there just listening to it. I didn't even know how to work the little click wheel thing. I kept pressing the buttons instead of spinning the thing.
Yeah.
It was really cool, but the next year I would get an iPod Nano for Christmas, and ever since then it was just digital music.
But here's the thing though, like Apple was even smart back then because they're like, the only way you can put music, you have to download this thing called iTunes.
Yeah.
And that was the only way, you know.
Yeah.
And then did you ever use FrostWire? Did you ever?
No,
Napster wasn't. I remember hearing of Napster, but I never used Napster.
I used LimeWire, but never at my house. I went to my friend's house, and because we didn't have internet, so he had music, and I would literally just like copy his music. Like I would ask him if I could have it.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah, and I would tell him, I would make a list of songs I wanted, and I would give it to him. Because, dude, before I had internet, I didn't know how the internet worked. I didn't know.
So when did you get internet?
I got internet when I was 16. As kids, we didn't know we were downloading illegal music.
Yeah,
we just got music. Like
we just wanted music because it was the easiest thing.
Kids have it so easy these days because like they have access to like music, like whatever they want. Yeah, it's free. Like, jeez.
Let me ask you this: does it aggravate you? And this is something so small. When people are like, when you ask people, what do you listen to? They're like, everything. I just roll my eyes at people and like say, like, everything. Yeah. But am I gonna sit here and name off every genre that I know, and you're gonna just be like, yeah, like, you know, like,
yeah,
like.
I think everyone has their favorites, but
I don't listen to everything.
Well, you know, I used to be like that. I used to only listen to like rock, like, for a lot of years.
During your hipster days.
And then
I feel like you were a pre-hipster, dude.
Pre-hipster? What are you talking about?
Like, you know how right now there's hipsters?
Uh-huh.
You were a hipster.
Pre-hipster?
Because you were a hipster before hipster was a thing.
I don't think so.
Like, you listened to, like, you know, like, rock and the way you dress.
No, dude. It was a different... That was post-grunge.
Oh.
And I never painted my nails or anything like that. I was not like that. I always dressed like almost the same. Like I had the same style and everything. Never anything over the top. I always wore like browns and grays. Like that's how I've always been. So it was the post grunge era, and I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater when I was a kid. And when you're in that post-grunge era and you're hanging around with people who listen to the same kind of music, you just, I guess, become that.
Yeah.
You know? You become that rock culture. Like, it wasn't like a...
Is there like, is rock...
I never made a conscious choice.
Well,
I think for everyone, I don't think people should just stick to one. I think people should branch out and try to listen to, you know, a little bit of everything. Because
like
there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Finish this episode with saying that, like, music is known as a universal language.
Yeah.
Because people go, and I mean, I watch interviews all the time where, like, artists, any type of artist, they're like, it blows my mind when I go and I sell out an arena for 15,000 people, and these people who don't speak a lick of English can say every single lyric.
It's crazy, dude.
I think it's crazy as a observer. Imagine being the person there.
I can kind of relate to you because
my name is my name.
I used to I used to listen to a band called Rammstein. Okay. And they sung a lot of music, and I think their most notable thing was, like, they sung a song in Matrix. It's called Du Hast. It was, like, huge, and it was, it's a Russian band, I think, or German. I think it's German. And, no, I think it's Russian.
Was this before or after 9 Inch Nails?
It was the same time.
Okay.
Like around the same time. And, yeah, so I'm like, I know the lyrics to their songs, but I don't know what they're saying, but I can speak it. Like, yeah. It's weird. I can, like, sing the song, but, like, it's a different language. It's crazy.
But that's the one thing. I think, like cool. What you were talking about earlier, how, you know.
I just imagine a Chinese guy, my name is.
You know, he doesn't do that. Like,
dude, Forget About Dre is such a great song, dude.
Who?
Forget About Dre?
Dude.
That's a great song.
He said Forget About Drake. I'm like,
that's the new one?
That's the remix?
It's a diss. Forget About Drake.
No, dude. Not for nothing. I know this has nothing to do. It's a quick sidebar.
Yeah.
There's like a meme. My girlfriend showed me that there's a picture of like Drake shirtless, like, you know, out. Dude, and like the top comment of it says, damn Drake, it's crazy that you went to Colombia to go get your abs done. I'm just like, dude, imagine.
You know, I imagined, like you said, Drake shirtless, and I just imagine like his beard on his chest. Like, it's just the perfect beard. Can we all admit that we want Drake's beard?
Dude, it's not.
He has the
hard.
most perfect beard.
No, it's not, dude.
I know, a little spray paint.
The spray paint. Okay, as long as you know that.
Yeah.
Come on, okay. As long as
it still looks great. Yeah. Have you ever pre-Malone, post-Malone? And pre-Malone is him in high school and his post-Malone.
With the short shorts, that one song that it came
out,
like,
man.
That I thought that was gonna like ruin him when he had a song that he did in high school.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. Have you ever seen him doing interviews?
Yeah.
He's like really soft-spoken. He's cool. He seems pretty cool.
The music, man.
I'm not crazy about his song. I just like Better Now, but that's about it.
I was better now.
That was a good song.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I'm not a singer. Did you ever try to sing or anything?
No, I always thought I wanted to sing. Like, I always thought I could sing or like, you know, but no.
I always want to go into karaoke. I haven't to this day. I have never done karaoke.
I feel like it'd be a good like Michael Bublé.
No,
you know that guy?
Yeah, I know.
Where he sounds like classic. I feel like I could do that, but I couldn't sing like a.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Maybe I could sing a rap song if you paid me enough.
I'll
drop that rap album.
Straight out of Compton.
I just changed. Yeah.
You kicked the kind of stuff. I'm straight out of Chicago. That'd be funny, dude. I would pay to see you do that.
I know.
No, but to end this, what's your like number one? Have you ever done karaoke?
No.
Okay, if you
I mean, the only karaoke I've done is like Rock Band, the game.
Oh no,
where you're like playing with people, like, but you still have to sing.
Oh no,
you have to read the words.
Going to somewhere and doing it.
But I was in front of a bunch of people.
What's your number one song?
To sing?
Yeah, if we were like, let's say
if it was a karaoke,
if we were at a bar and under like, Brian Rodrigo.
What song? Basically, you're saying what song do I like to sing?
My song would either be "My Way" or "Shallow," just so I could sing Bradley Cooper's part. Yeah, My Way from Frank Sinatra.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I had no regrets. You drop your voice.
I don't know what I would sing to.
Damn, look, you hear those tones?
Maybe a Hall & Oates song. I like Hall & Oates. Hall &
Hall &
Oates is
Oates?
great. They're one of my favorite bands.
To do as a karaoke, that'd be cool.
You know Hall & Oates, right?
Yeah,
they
I've
sing
heard
some
of them.
good stuff. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. What are your favorite? Well, let's end it with this. What are our favorites? What are your favorite like singers, bands, whatever? Your top 3.
Oh, you can't do this.
Okay, fine. Your favorite
Genres would be Spanish. Can I say Latin music?
Yeah.
Because it covers so much.
Yeah.
Like salsa, bachata,
Uh-huh.
trap music, which is like Bad Bunny and all this new generation that I'm part of, which I freaking love. And, or reggaeton music, whatever you want to call it. And then I would say hip hop would be like, those are my top 2.
Those are your top genres?
Yeah, because hip hop covers so much, dude. I can go from all the way from like liking Nas, to all the way of like liking a song of an Old Town Road that sounds like a country song.
Okay.
Like, it's so diverse. I can't give you my favorite albums because that's tough. I can't give you my favorite artists because that changes every day.
It's hard, yeah, it does.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But do you want me, is that what you're asking me? Like, do you want me to give
Yeah,
you
just right now in 2019, May 2019, what's your favorite artist?
top 3 or top 5?
Top 3.
Top 3.
You know, the thing I notice about these lists is that it's not permanent. Like, we always change
of course.
it. Yeah.
I'll say Bad Bunny's up there.
Whoa, Bad Bunny.
I know you hate Bad Bunny.
I hate Bad Bunny. I just hate his glasses. You know? He just looks like a bunny, you know?
I would say Bad Bunny's up there. Drake has to be up there still. The last one would probably just be like Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Oh, yeah, Jay-Z. I've always liked Jay-Z.
I've always
Yeah. Okay.
I need to get into Jay-Z too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably my favorite artist. Right now, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think who... I mean, I like so much music, but it's like favorite artists. When you ask me favorite artists, I think of like what you said about that whole vinyl story. When you can sit with an artist's music and listen from top to bottom.
Right.
And even though if it doesn't tell a story, if you like every song, that's what makes him become a favorite artist. That's why when I go to concerts, like, I gotta give a quick shout out to like J. Cole.
Yeah.
J. Cole is not my favorite artist, but I respected him and I gained so much respect when I went to go see him in concert because this was for the All Eyes on Me tour, and his album was called All Eyes on Me, or All Eyes, whatever. And he literally, I've never seen an artist do this, play every song from the album and then throw his hits between them.
Wow.
I've never seen that. And when I saw that for the first time, I was like, I mess with this guy because that was the first album from J. Cole for my liking that I liked. And it wasn't like a critical, like, oh my God, everybody loves it. It's a classic. No, not a lot of people like that one.
But for you, it's
for
really
me, I liked it. So imagine me going to a concert where he played every song on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
I gained a lot of respect. So to me, it was a win-win. But yeah, that's just like a...
What's your favorite album of all time? Right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Like your go-to album. Like if you could just
The Life of
play.
Pablo.
The Life of Pablo. Okay.
Because I like the stories in there.
Yeah.
I like the way. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Same goes to you now.
Well,
now
that's
you
it for
gotta
today. No, I'm just no, mine is easy. Top 3 bands or artists or whatever. It's 9 Inch Nails. No surprise. I'm saying that one first because he already knows.
Yeah. I learned who 9 Inch Nails was because of our podcast that we had before.
Yeah, and you learned who they were through the Defiant Ones.
Yeah,
that's Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
I got it on the Blu-ray. It's pretty good. I'm watching it over.
Man, people watch that documentary.
It's a great documentary. Yeah.
Great.
Shows
you how Dr. Dre went from being
it's amazing. Yeah.
a dress-up DJ.
Well, even Jimmy Iovine.
No, it's mostly about Jimmy Iovine, but I'm talking about like...
No, it's about both of them. It's equally both of them, I would say.
When they talked about like Suge Knight playing football in his backyard every Sundays with like real football players.
Remember when
that's so crazy.
Dre used to be like in the purple like
that's
whatever.
That's
Doctor,
what
yeah. Oh, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, it's
when
crazy.
He used to DJ with his,
he was like
now where he has like $1 billion.
It's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. He was all embarrassed by it, huh?
You think we'll be?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
Thanks, man.
Second favorite band is A Perfect Circle. They just have great music, man. I think they're on their 4th album. And every single album they've come out with is just fantastic.
So, okay.
You
would go see them in person?
Oh, yeah. A Perfect Circle is the band I would go see in person, for sure.
Have they come to Chicago?
I think they did. I think they came last year, if I'm not mistaken. But that was before their new album came out.
Well,
I'd like
guess
to go
what?
to their next one.
Thanks to SeatGeek, I'm able to surprise my friend Brian with VIP print.
There you go. Man, dude. No, these are bands, though. I would see VIP for sure.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
You go in the back room and say thank you guys for your music.
Yeah.
Nice.
Third one's kind of that one's kind of hard for me. That one's not as easy. The third one, I'm gonna say who I've been listening to a lot now lately, and I just like their music, and I'm sort of realizing that they're one of my favorite bands.
Mm-hmm.
Queens of the Stone Age. I like Queens of the Stone Age a lot.
So for you, it's a lot of bands.
Yeah, it's a lot of bands. Yeah.
I never got into rock, man. It sucks.
I
feel like I missed a lot.
Singles, like yeah, for like hip hop. Man, when it comes to hip hop, like who's my favorite? I don't know.
Nelly.
No. That hip hop is hard though.
I feel like
because there's a lot of great people.
I feel like if you like hip hop, you would be a fan of like Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. Like, yeah, I haven't listened to his music, but I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay. I'm familiar with him. Okay. Yeah. Maybe. And then my favorite album of all time is Daft Punk, Random Access Memories. That's the best album of all time in my opinion.
That is a good album.
That album is so good. I will buy the vinyl of that album, $35. I will buy that vinyl.
Damn.
For sure. I can't say that Daft Punk's my favorite though, because not all of their stuff is great, but like.
But just that
specific
album.
That album is so well done.
Priceless.
It's so great. It's priceless. It was a perfect time in my life when it came out. It was like, it has memories.
That has to do a lot with music too. Let's end it on this note. Music.
We said that 30 minutes ago.
I know.
Let's end it here.
No, but here's the thing. Like music, like you can listen to a song, and if it reminds you of something, someone, or somewhere, it just like that memory just clicks.
It comes back, yeah. And all of a sudden, like when I listen to Random Access Memories, I'm in 2013. It's crazy. Like I can smell the air. Like I remember where I was. Like it's crazy.
I don't remember that much stuff.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time outside that year, so it was like fresh air. It was like good. Yeah, I loved it, man. But that album, fun trivia, they actually used real old like recording methods and instruments. Like they actually use real instruments and everything for that. And if you listen to the album, you know there's a lot of instruments. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Fun facts. That's been Fun Facts with Brian. Well, that's it for us. Man,
we can keep talking. This is like the movie one where we can keep talking for hours.
Next month, which is next episode, which is tomorrow's episode. This all makes sense when it comes out, but it kind of sucks that we're putting this to an end. Like it's our 5th episode. We already know what the next 2 topics are. Like that's it. We're done.
Yeah. It's fine though.
Cool. That's awesome. I mean, Brian, with pleasure having you.
No problem, man. I will be here tomorrow.
Exactly.
Same time, same channel.
Exactly. I hope this goes somewhere, man. I hope the views pick up on this. I hope like by the 5th, because this will be the 5th episode. I hope by that.
Yeah, I mean, but the people who are watching it, I hope they enjoy it. You know?
I hope you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you for enjoying. Remember to cash at me some money.
Yeah,
and I'll forward it.
Don't forget to hit that like button and click that notification bell.
And like
we're just being really annoying. Yeah,
I know, we're being
like
typical.
Swipe up when you're on Instagram or Snapchat.
Swipe up. And then the link that we're trying to sell you on will come up.
Oh jeez.
Just make sure
that browser's garbage.
Smash. Where's the subscribe button? Brian's face. Subscribe.
Yeah. You should edit the subscribe.
Not too much work.
Later. When I was in my junior year of high school, which was like 2008, I had to make an email account for the first time, and I was like. I had to whisper to the guy across from me. I was like, hey, how do you make an email, dude? Because the professor was like, oh, you need to email me this stuff. And I was like, dude, this is moving way too fast.